Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we have the Hollywood Racks Destination 2-bike platform rack. We'll take a look at how it fits our 2022 Ford Edge. So the Destination 2 is a really good rack because it's a platform rack, so you have that stability, it's lightweight, it's compact, and you can fit bikes of different shapes and sizes. We fit a 4-year-old's bike on there and it actually secured the bike, which is pretty impressive. Now for how it fits the Ford Edge, this means you can store it in different places. You can even keep it in your trunk and just install it on your car when you need to carry your bikes around. You can even fold up the bike rack and still have access to your hatch. There are some downsides to this rack though, like how it does not tilt away with the bikes on, so you are going to have to take the bikes off to get into that trunk, but also you do have a weight capacity of 35 pounds per bike. So for those that have heavy electric bikes, this is not going to be the rack for you. But for most of your bikes, this is going to be a fit. And let's talk about that. So this has that 35 pound capacity and it has 3 touch points for the bike. So 2 of those touch points are going to be your front and your rear wheel straps. Notice how it goes over that. You have the rubber up top to keep your wheel secure, to add some grip, and when you want to take your bike off, you start at those straps. So you press this lever, lift up on the strap, and then fortunately this pivots over to the side or underneath the rack and is out of the way of your spokes. Notice the length of those straps and the cradles too. The maximum tire width for this is going to be up to 3-inch wide tires. For those who have extra wide fat bike tires, this is not going to be the fit either. Now for when you have to take the frame mount out, this will be different depending on your bike's frame. Fortunately, you have versatility. You can put this on different parts of your bike, whichever is the best fit for you. So I like to wrap my arm and my elbow around the seat post, and that way my hands are free to press the lever and release the strap for our frame mount. And with that, compared to a lot of the other lightweight compact racks, this has a short mast. So once that's released, rather than having to go over this huge hook, you just lift it over that small mast and you are now ready to go for a bike ride. The reason this can carry around bikes like that is because of the way the cradle is shaped. Notice that wing design where depending on if you have a short wheelbase or a long wheelbase, you just find your spot along those cradles, and then the straps can tilt to fit your tires. Now when driving around, I do recommend putting the straps back into their holders. That way they're not flopping around as you go around. Notice as well here how we have this mast sitting up. So I'm going to make this a bit more compact and I'm going to fold that mast down. It's a little process, so you have to loosen this lever. Once that lever is loose, you can lift the anchor up and put it down. And now the mast can find a spot. So you can either go over here or you can go over here. You can use a wheel strap or a frame mount to secure it. I just recommend that whichever choice you do choose, to just alternate between them so that they have equal wear and tear. Alright, that's secure. So notice here, you can now open up your hatch and get into your trunk, grab your helmets, your bags, hang out here if you want to change your shoes. The big bummer for this though was I had to take my bikes off to do so, and that is something worth considering. If that's going to be a major issue for you, maybe you want something that can tilt away with the bikes on, you might want to consider something like even the Swagman XTC Tilt might be an alternative if you want to stay in the affordable entry-level price range. Alright, let's talk about clearances here. First, we're going to talk about how much length this adds to the back of the car. I measure from the bumper to where the reflectors are. This sits at 23.5 inches. And now we're going to measure for ground clearance. So end of the rack to ground, 15.5 inches. Center of the rack to ground, 20.5 inches. And compare that to your hitch receiver, where that bottom lip is 11 and, or pretty much 11 inches from the ground. So there is that shank rise. And this is good to know if you have, let's say, a small garage, limited parking spot, how much space does this add into your vehicle. But coming in close, I'll show you how to make this more compact. So you have this lever, this knob. If you turn this knob and unthread it so that it comes out, you can then lift up on the rack and fold the rack up against the vehicle. Don't forget to put it back in. Also, this does have a retaining clip, so make sure that's in there before you drive away. And this is going to be your portable position. So taking some measurements, here is closest point is from the bumper to the mast. That's 3 inches of distance away from your vehicle. So plenty of clearance there. The next measurement is bumper to the end of rack, 11.5 inches. Big difference as well compared to when it was folded down. But the really cool part is here. You can open up your hatch. You still have a lot of clearance between your rack, and that way, even with a bike rack on, you can still put away your groceries, grab the things out of your trunk, do all that stuff that you could do with as if there was no bike rack on. So full visibility behind your vehicle as well. Obviously, your license plate, your backup camera, those are visible, taillights, and window. So that's really the perks of getting a lightweight compact rack, especially if you want to leave this on there for an extended period of time. Well, with all that being said, this does require a hitch receiver, so whether you have an 1.25 inch or a 2-inch hitch receiver, this actually fits them. You have an anti-rattle bolt and a lock, so just always make sure to tighten down that bolt in your hitch receiver before you drive away, because then you know it's nice and secure in the hitch and it takes out that rattle, which is also good for your bikes. Now, I did mention that the downside to this rack is going to be it doesn't tilt away and it doesn't have that great of a weight capacity for those heavier bikes. So some alternatives would be either the Swagman Schnook. That one does tilt away and has a 45 pound weight capacity. Another option that I mentioned was the XTC Tilt, and those are all options you find here at eTrailer. Now this definitely is going to be the more compact and more easy to use compared to them. So there's definitely pros and cons to every style of bike rack. But hopefully this video helped you out with seeing what is the best fit for you. This was a look at the Hollywood Racks Destination 2-bike platform rack, and we saw it on the 2022 Ford Edge.